The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the presenters and guests, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Cincinnati-Hamilton County Community Action Agency or its Head Start program. Previously on Parent Connection.
This time we're gonna try to do a little something different, right? You know what I'm saying? We're adding a new segment. We're hoping this works right. My wonderful wife, the producer of the show, she went into became the gal about town, getting the word on the street from a couple different parents. So she was asking questions, and we got parents being able to respond because we would like to get all of you to be a part of this the same way. Be able to say something, hit the like button, you know what I mean? Subscribe. And we're going to come up with a place of email, something that we can send where people could send stuff in and be able to comment with us. So we got some comments and some conversation to start from some of the parents here in Cincinnati. So we're going to sit back and you're going to get some great perspective from me and my brother, and we're going to see what it looks like.
It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator.
All right, going to the next video.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
What is your name?
My name is Britton Gilliam.
And how many children do you have?
I have 4 and 1 on the way.
Awesome. What are their ages?
I have an 8-year-old, I have a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and I'm 7 months pregnant with a boy.
Amen. Boy. If you could give one piece of advice to parents that you wish you would have received, what would it be?
To get ready for no sleep when you first have the baby. You have to be ready to be occupied from every 3 hours, every 2 hours. I didn't get that much information on not sleeping at night.
Okay.
So just to get more information on sleeping and get ready for the baby.
And just the second part of your answer, with the no sleep, what were some coping techniques, or were there times you had to encourage yourself from not losing your mind from that sleep? What did you do?
Thank God I had Dad. So we were able to take turns doing it. Awesome. So I'm really thankful that I had Dad, so I didn't lose my mind.
Awesome. So just that support system, make sure you try to reach out.
Support system, definitely.
Oh yeah, make a valid point about that, man. Cause man, when babies come into the world, whew, that's a whole nother schedule right there.
Again, I apologize. I love my people. I love that sister. Hey, she did exactly what I do. When people ask me how old my kid is, I have to like try to point to something. They ain't even around, but I got to point. I'm like,
she got to think like,
I love what I saw parents like when we were seeing all the parents. They were like, I got this old, that. Hey, God bless y'all. Y'all are amazing. Yeah. I am not like that. I'm more like the sister Britton Gilliam.
Yeah, Brittany. Most definitely.
But you're right. I do think that it's a great point. The idea that having that first child. Or not even a first child, but when you first have a child, right? Have a beautiful baby, and you're happy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But your life, it's the greatest introduction to parenthood in the world. Because your life, what you want, what your desire is nothing.
Sure don't.
This baby takes it all. So the sleep, when it want to eat, you know what I'm saying? You may want to do nothing but sit down, relax, be quiet for a minute because you had a long day. Don't matter. That child want to eat. That child need to be changed. That child need, you know what I'm saying, to get up and just grab something. You know what I mean? I think that's great. And I think for a lot of parents, I think getting advice to going into parenthood, I think we always get these bits and pieces, but I don't think I'm with her. I feel like sometimes we're not told in a way that we really get it, or either that or we don't take it as serious.
Right.
I'm positive she probably was
it
told.
Might be a little bit of both, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's like once you get to that moment, like, okay, I remember I was supposed to do this, but what if that don't work, and da-da-da-da. So it's like you gotta be hands-on with it. Like I still remember when my son was here, I was like, man, I couldn't put him down. You know, his mom was like, put him down. Da-da-da. I'm like, nah, you know, she like, all right. As soon as I fall asleep, he get the crying. I'm like, time for me to clock in. I'm talking about this. Feel like I ain't slept in days, and I gotta go to work in the morning. I still remember one time he got up, he was hungry. I go fix the bottle. You know, I'm making a little funny little voices or whatever. I'm looking at him, and he looking up at me. I'm thinking he gonna go to sleep. As soon as I put him in the crib, I'm like, I got about 2 hours and like 24 minutes of sleep before I gotta get up. within like maybe 28 minutes of that, I was cool. But after that, he was back up again. I'm like, I gotta go to work. I'm like, oh man, I was ready, but I wasn't ready.
Right.
So it's like, hey, it's an experience, man.
And I think that's a real thing. I think even if you plan a child, you like, you know what I'm saying, you and your significant other get together and say, oh, we want to have this child. That what you just said was a real thing. You're ready, but you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? You can be ready, but still not be ready. Because again, like I said, having your baby, like what she just described to me, was a perfect introduction to parenthood. Your life and everything that's about you, why it matters to you, to the rest of the world, it won't, because that child becomes the rest of your world. And it's a beautiful thing, though.
Oh, it's a wonderful thing. Great.
So, let's do that beautiful bean footage.
What is your name?
Andre Blackley.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
And what are their ages?
I have a son who's 16, and I have a daughter who's 13.
And what is one piece of advice you would give to a father on parenting that you wish you would have known?
The best piece of advice that I could give, and this was I experienced this, but I do it even more so with my son, is just communicating. Having a conversation with my son and my daughter, even if it's about nothing, just the fact that we are talking and communicating.
Hey, everybody just move up closer.
We're conversing together. I want them to know that they can reach out to myself or their mother, my wife, for anything. I would rather have them come to me than my wife, or than go try to find out on their own in the streets, or talking to people who don't know as much as their parents know. So that would be the best advice I could give, is just to talk to your child, communicate with them.
Hey man, hey, listen,
man.
Whew, these are some great videos.
I know.
Shout out to that brother. Hey, that was amazing. I'm sorry I forgot your name that fast, but you are amazing. Communication. I love my favorite part about what he just said to me. Because for one, again, it was so perfect. It fed into the pressures of parenting with the conversation we was just having a moment ago. I'd rather my child come to me and learn it than get it from the streets or anything. Or like we was talking about social media in the world.
Exactly.
And it's almost a race. Who gonna get the information first?
Foundation.
What I loved about what he said was talk to your kid, communicate with your kid almost all the time, even if it's about nothing.
Right.
Recently on social media, I've been off for social media for a while. I hop on, I see that they got the National Daughters Day, right? So I'm like, oh snap! I don't even know if I missed it. But, your timeline show you what you show. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know if I missed it, but I'm posting some stuff. So I was posting, and I posted a picture I took of cause I'm real big on moments. Like my favorite thing to me about having a phone with a camera on it is I can capture the moment. I don't have to try to fumble to find. I can always capture. I'm real big on moments. So I was talking to my daughter one day, and this is my 14-year-old. And me and her was talking, and I would never forget. We sat on the phone for like an hour and a half, and we literally talked about a whole bunch of nothing. And it was one of the dopest moments in my life, like just because, like he said, just to be able to know that it's open. And since then, I remember at the time we had this conversation, she was like 12 and a half. So when we had this conversation, she was 13. I'm sorry. She was 13, about to be 14. You know what I'm saying? So we was having this conversation, but it opened up so many lanes for her to talk to me about some real issues, some real problems she had.
Right. Because
it became that thing what we were just talking. It was being engaged, right? But back to that, you know what I'm saying? I was being engaged with her and we were just talking about everything. We was on FaceTime, and I remember I screenshotted her while she was in the middle of talking about something. And I just thought, like, this is one of the most amazing moments in the world. So I love when he said that part. That part spoke to me personally, like being able to communicate with your child about anything, even if it's nothing.
Then, like, by me having small children, like my son, he just turned 8. My daughter, she'll be 5 December. It's like they talk about everything. It's like you be looking like, what? And Pink, what? And Dinosaur did what? And Dude did what? Okay, well, let me know how that made you feel as well as what you want to do. And you'll hear some stuff, but at the same time, it'll make you think, like, you know what? Just those little moments right there mean so much, like over anything. Like just to know that they talking and you listening and giving them your feedback as well as them talking to themselves or feeling like they're being ignored. That's a wonderful thing, man.
For sure. And even then, and I think what you said was an amazing point. Even when they're young, still doing it. Diving in, 'cause what you may realize it, but you know what I'm saying? At the time you may not realize it, you setting the foundation for when they do get older. They like you said, it's just used to the conversation. I'm used to talking to my dad about whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's pink ponies and Cadillacs or
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Black Panther to the Flash and who's better and you know what I'm saying? Teen Titans Go, whatever. Like
Right.
I think that's such an important piece. I love that. That was a great key. Gemstone, communicate.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like just that's just the whole gemstone. Communicate.
Thanks.
All right. Let's get to that in the next beautiful beam footage.
All right, what's your name?
Kiri Hardness.
And how many children do you have?
I have 2 children.
What are their ages?
They're adult ages.
Awesome. If you wouldn't mind, could you please share a piece of advice or wisdom that you wish you would have received when you were having children?
That communication is key. And to create an environment where your children feel safe and comfortable to communicate with you about whatever they're going through or whatever they're feeling or whatever they're experiencing. Just leaving the door open for them to be able to always come and talk to you, whether it's good or whether it's bad.
So if you don't mind me asking, in the times that you've been angry, how did you continue that word of advice?
Be honest. Be honest, because we do go through situations and we do go through circumstances and we do get angry and we do get frustrated and we do want to throw our hands up and we do want to throw in a tile. And it's okay to express those. It's not okay to take it to an unsafe place where you put yourself or you put others in danger because of your anger. But it's okay to be angry, but not to harbor on it and let it rest in your heart.
Say that.
Hey, what's up? Hey, listen. Okay, hold on. Time out. I know. Before we dive into the most beautiful part of it, I just like to point out how I love women. I just what they.
Oh yeah,
say.
they have some of the best answers ever.
That sister, no, hold on. That sister, she letting me know I'm still fly in my upper age.
They adult ages.
They are adult ages.
Right.
She's saying they are adult ages. Then.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? But don't, because now you're getting somewhere. Right. Don't ask me about that.
I'm still scrumptious. Right.
Yeah, man. Shout out to that sister, and you are gorgeous. Oh my goodness. But yes.
That's a valid point because, shutting down, that only creates more problems. And then, like, if it is a problem, that problem will never be solved. Because it's like, once you shut down, it's like you shield yourself from knowing either the answer as well as getting help for whatever it is you're going through. So, boy, this communication is the truth, man.
But how did you feel, or what did you take from her saying when Alicia asked, when you're angry, how do you do it? And she said, be honest, because we do get angry. Like, so what do you take from that?
Because it's like when she said that, it's like if you can't be honest within yourself, how can you be honest with the person that you're communicating with? It all starts from within, because if within is unhealthy, then that brings an even more unhealthier situation as well as an unhealthy answer.
For sure.
So it's like, like I said, it's got to have a breaking point to where either you're going to harbor on these old feelings as well as not be truthful, or come in like, look, this is how I feel. This is going on. I'm angry, but I'm going to let you know how I feel. I want to know how you feel so we can come together and come to a compromisation that works out for the better for both of us.
And I think that matters too, because the part about being honest when you're mad, that struck me so well.
Man,
that's a piece, right? Like, even with my 5-year-old, you know what I'm saying? We start trying to. I've been taught actually through some of the stuff I went through with Head Start. I've been taught different languages. You know what I'm saying? From when we did a fatherhood class here with Head Start, Head Start dads. You know what I'm saying? Or dads Head Start. I'm sorry. Being able to know that there's more emotions than angry, mad, sad.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And there's a whole language to describe it. So I took it so deep because she's right. It's times where I've looked at my daughter, and my first thing is she'd be like, "You mad at me?" And I want to be like, "No," but yeah,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then so what I started doing was start being from that to, no, I'm not angry with you. I'm frustrated, or no, I'm disappointed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or I'm hurt. You know what I mean? Or
it's like it seems like they be expecting the worst every time. So it's like when you come at them with that approach, it's like, well, maybe if I talk to them and let them know why I did what I did, then, you know, either way it go, you still got to lay the law down.
Yeah.
But it's certain ways you go about doing it, because the one thing you don't want your child to do is shut down from you.
Yeah. And then feel like that the only way they can be them is outside. Because I took that from her too when she said, make sure you create the safe environment for the communication.
That's the foundation.
Yeah. Because you know what I'm saying? It can be that, you know what I'm saying? I remember one of the things I've cherished about my mom so much when I came up was that she did, like, I remember she kept telling me, before you ready to have sex, tell me, talk to me. Start talking to me about the ins and outs. So it got to the space when it was about to happen, like, okay, so I was like, let me try it. Maybe she gonna trip and I gotta sneak and do it anyway, or maybe she gonna rock with me. I talked to her, we had a great conversation. She reminded me of a key point that I tell my kids all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It only takes one time to have a kid. It takes one time to have a disease. And she took me to go get protection. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if she had to create that safe space, you know what I mean? And but in the same breath, because that was always my fear, is that when it came to my girls, because I got 3 girls. So my fear was, okay, I don't want to tell them, don't tell me about the dude you liking. Don't tell me about when you like somebody. You know what I mean? Even then, and having to be honest and say, if you feel like you like the same sex as opposed to the opposite sex, don't be afraid. Talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Because like my sister, she gave, when she came up, you know what I'm saying, the whole family, of course, shut all that down. So she felt like she ain't had nothing. So then she would go out there and she figuring all kind of real life out that may not even have nothing to do with her sexual orientation, but just figuring a bunch of real life out. But because this one piece that was really major was shut down by the family, she felt like she had to handle stuff on her own. You know what I'm saying? And that's never no bueno.
It all goes back to the support.
Yeah. Right. And I thought that was telling. I really enjoyed that piece. And even then, another thing I tell parents, again, parent advocate job coming out. You know what I'm saying?
One-on-one.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I tell parents all the time, you're going to be upset with your kids. Hey, you're going to not like your kids. Probably a lot of times. Just flat out. I mean, genuinely, as the person that they are in front of you at that moment, you're not going to like them. Yeah. You're going to yell. You know what I'm saying? But like she said, it's not the anger that's the problem. It's not the being upset. It's not the not liking them or them not liking you at the moment. It's what we do after that. It's what we do with those emotions. You know what I'm saying? Not to harm nobody, not to cause anybody any strife, but to and if you feel like that, you find yourself in that space, there are people you can reach out to. There's phone numbers you can call. You know what I mean? There's a lot of options on there. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? There are always a bunch of ways to deal with the anger. And you know what I'm saying? Okay. If you find yourself yelling, even as you find yourself trying to get better, it's okay to yell. Just know that it's not okay to hurt. It's not okay to yell things at your kids to hurt them. That's never what we want to do. You know what I mean? But be honest about where you at and be okay with it. And just know that we straight. We got this. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows that child better than you. And nobody wants to see that child's success more than you. So, for sure.
What are your names?
Cares.
And how many children do you two have?
We have 2.
What are their ages?
4 and 3.
If you could, what is one piece of advice you would give to other parents now that you are parents about being a parent?
Enjoy the memories as they come.
That's a good one. I like it.
I like that.
Would you? Why would you say that? Why do you think we should enjoy memory?
Because our kids grow so fast. In a blink of an eye, they went from baby to 3.
I agree.
So enjoy them while they can.
Yes. All right, Kiris, what's yours?
I was taking that.
You sticking with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah,
do you have anything you'd like to say on that answer?
Yeah, even though kids little, they still remember stuff.
Yes. So keep them experiences going.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like it. All right, thanks you guys.
Good brother, Karis.
Hey.
That brother right there, that's one of our brothers in the fatherhood program. That's Karis and his wife right there.
But I want to say something. That sister looked too good for him. He need to know he count his lucky stars that he got that wonderful sister on his side.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Because I'm just, you know what I'm saying, my wife looks too good for me, so I'm just talking stuff. But hey, let's talk, brother. You seen him in the last episode of
the podcast.
You know what I'm saying?
Brother Karis right there. But they make a valid point. He's like, you got to cherish everything because in the blink of an eye, they growing, they getting, you know, they experiencing different things. You know, they smiling, making, they just doing everything. So you as a parent, you got to buckle down and just cherish every moment because like we are priests in the fatherhood program as well as the class. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So on that note, you got to make sure that you have the most love and everything involved with yourself as well as with your child or your children because, you know, it's you miss out on a special moment. You know, you be sorry like, man, I missed that when that happened. And then the one thing that you don't want to hear from any of your child or children, you wasn't there. Man.
And it's one of the most difficult things in the world to hear. You know what I mean?
Man.
You went there, or the memory, like
or you missed it.
Right. I love that Karis even said kids, even though they may be small, they may be little, they still
remember. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what you do, what you put in front of your kids, what you do around your kids, that's you feeding into your kids.
Yeah.
Every parent since the beginning of time, it's not even nothing new, so it's not about all these parents today.
They pay attention to everything, man.
Right. This has been since the beginning of the time. The idea of do as I say, not as I do, doesn't work. It has never worked. But that's what, you know what I'm saying, for a long time, that was what was passed down. So a lot of times we still try to do the same thing. Can't be that way. You know what I'm saying? I love that. You know what I mean?
Big up the Karis, man. And the missus, most definitely.
Yeah, hey, listen, it's so loud to see y'all. You know what I mean? That's so dope.
I love you, man.
Yeah, straight up. Gotta link up soon, man.
Man, for real.
I'm telling you, we gonna figure that out. All right, let's get to this last video. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the presenters and guests, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Cincinnati-Hamilton County Community Action Agency or its Head Start program.